we are asked to use the trig angle addition identities to get through these problems. So what I wanted to show you is that I'm not going to require you to memorize these, but we do have to be able to use them. Of course, if we had to memorize it later, we can always put that time into it. But right now, let's go ahead and look at a resource to help us get through these problems. So I have here your pre-calculus book that we're using. So my suggestion, and in the back, last couple pages. So here's the last page. Here's the second to last page. And notice we have some trigonometry formulas here. And this is where the formulas for trigonometry kind of start, where we got some angle measures. There's your converters here. Some reciprocal identities. All the trig functions can be related. These are the Pythagorean identities. These are actually used a lot. And on the next page, here's some more formulas. We got the even and odd identities, changing with the negative signs inside on the function. The sum and difference identities, hey, those are the ones we need, okay? And we're in sine, cosine, and tangent. We have some of those. We have some co-function identities, so how they're kind of related to different functions. Double angle identities, some power reducing identities, half angle identities, and then we got some more triangle stuff going on with law of sines and cosines. And we got the complex numbers down here. And if you remember, this was how we kind of transform our different complex numbers on the field so we can kind of deal with them differently. All right, so we are asked to use the sum and difference identity. So basically it's the sums that we're looking at for this lesson set. So let's see which ones we need. So that we're asked for cosine of some angle plus 60 degrees. So we're given this triangle here. Okay, well, we're looking for a cosine of adding our angles. So cosine of adding our angles is right here. Cosine of u plus v equals cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v. Do your best to try to put these in your memory before you kind of need to use them. Even if you put it in your memory just for a moment or two, it really helps. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best to remember this. Cosine of u plus v. We have our cosines first, minus our sines next. Cosines first, minus our sines next. And we're using each of the letters or the angles inside. All right, let's see if I can remember. Can you remember? Here we go. So it was cosine of u plus v is equal to, cosines were first. So cosine of u, cosine of v, minus sine u, sine v. All right. And then we just want to kind of double check to make sure that we got it right. And we did. So even putting it in your memory for a little bit helps over time. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this screen a little bit. It's a little bit big. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and just plug these pieces into here. And then that should give us something that we can kind of use to attack it. Because right now it's trapped with this kind of broken apart aspect of it. So now I'll say cosine of angle ABC plus 60 degrees. And then practice using your formula from your memory if you can. So I'll go ahead and do my best to remember it. So it's the cosines first. So it's cosine of the first one, angle ABC, plus cosine of the second one, 60 degrees, minus the sines, minus sine of ABC, and sine of the 60. All right. Now we have a better shot of kind of going about this, so we'll just go ahead and plug in our parts that we need. So the 60 is one of our special right triangles. We got a right angle here, and it's the bigger one on the bottom, so 60 on the bottom, and 30 degrees up here. And let's see. Let me just make sure I get it right. All right. So let's see, like some images to kind of help me out with it. And yeah, this is the one I like the most. All right, so 60 is on the bottom, and it goes x, 2x, radical 3x. So x is the smallest side, 2x is the hypotenuse, that's the longest side, and then radical 3x is on this vertical side right here. So x, 2x, radical 3x. Once again, put it in your memory. So for mine, I'll do these over here. I got x, 2x, and x radical 3. All right. So when we're dealing with these, they're usually just a 1. So I'll go ahead and make that adjustment. This is equal to 1. That would be equal to 2. And this would just be equal to radical 3. All right. So now I can go ahead and attack it with using these aspects. So I have this triangle to deal with for the ABC part, and I have this triangle to deal with for the cosine of 60 degrees. All right. So let's all go ahead and switch my colors a little bit on here. Let's do each part. Cosine of ABC, what's that? Sorry. Cosine of ABC. The trick is to focus on the middle letter. So we're looking at this side right here. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. SOHCAHTOA, adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of some angle, just to get it down, is adjacent over hypotenuse. And our adjacent is right here for that we're looking at for B. And this is our hypotenuse, HYP. Ha. All right, so cosine of ABC is adjacent angle 3 over hypotenuse 5 plus cosine of 60. So that's this one over here. Adjacent is 1. No plus sign here. Watch out. That's no plus sign. So sorry about that. So no plus sign here. It's multiply. I knew it kind of looked strange when I started looking at it. Cosine of 60, the adjacent is 1. The hypotenuse is 2 on the cosine of 60. Minus sine ABC. Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of ABC, the opposite of B is 4. The hypotenuse is 5. And sine of 60. So now I'm over here. Sine is opposite, radical 3 over hypotenuse, 2. All right, so now we just want to simplify here. It looks like that when we look at our answers that they didn't combine these at all, so that just makes our math a little bit easier. We multiply straight across. So I get 3 over 10 minus 4 root 3 over 10. And that was nice enough that we could combine them. Let's see if those are any of our answers. Let's see. We got a little bit of reducing here, so might as well just reduce. So 4 and the 10, that turns into a 2, and that turns into a 5. So does that match now? And it looks like they should have little fraction bars on those. I'll forgive them this time. 3 over 10 plus 2 over 5 with the radical 3, and that's exactly what it should be. Oh, no, what happened? Oh, plus sign. So, yeah, it should be the minus sign here. 3 over 10 minus 2 over 5, radical 3. So that was a careless mistake on my part. So minus sign right there clearly. There we go. All that work just to mess up on a sign. So use that to kind of help make sure you don't make that same mistake.